Hi everyone, let's build this amazing SaaS landing page using Webflow. You don't have to write any line of code to create this whole website. We will be creating whole website from scratch without writing any single line of code. And we will be using Webflow technology which allow us to create website while drag and dropping, and this is the preview of Webflow. And here we will be also making our website responsive, and everything is much more simple than writing code for our website. So this is an ideal tutorial for those who just want to create website for their businesses or just want to learn how to create website. To let's get started their web development journey. So without wasting any time, let's get started. For creating our SaaS landing page in Webflow, we need a Figma design, which is this for our this tutorial, and we will be follow along with this Figma design. And this is the Webflow website, and you have to sign in up to follow up me. So first of all, you have to sign up, and then you can get the whole exact step as I am doing. And let's get started building it. So first of all, we have to have our layout section where we can put some layout, and we can see the layout which we are building in our Webflow also. So from here we can click on the add a layout button, and after that we can select each navbar as our requirement. And I think this second navbar is just look like our Figma design navbar layout, so I have selected this. Now if we click on this image, and we can now able to change the image. As we don't have any image inside our Webflow website, we have to upload all of these asset in our Webflow, which we have required to create our SaaS landing page in our Webflow. So I have already these all of this asset, and you can get the asset in the description. If you don't get, you can comment below, and I will definitely share with you. And after that, you can select the logo image, which is the big ass. And after that we have to remove the unnecessary links, and after that we can customize our navbar as our Figma design navbar. So first link is the nav link, home link, and after that the second link will be the product link, and the third one will be FAQ. And for duplicating anything on Webflow, you have to click on the component and just press Ctrl and D. It will duplicate the element for you. And the fourth one will be the blog, and the last one will be the about us link. In the future we will also make these links pressable, but for now just change the data as the requirement. And this button will be the login button. And the last thing, which is the sign up button, which in our Figma design is little more different, and we just have to change the name to sign up. And let's customize the designer of button exactly our Figma design button. So copy the background color of the button, and after that we have to paste it here in the background section of the button. And we know that it also have some properties like hover, and on hover we also have to have that same background color. And the on press the button color will be also changed, so select the press and just change the color for background on the on press of the button. So it will work on the three things, which is on hover, on press. And now it's time to customize the border radius of our button, and I am doing the border radius around to 10 px, and it looks good. And now customize the logo image to exactly what we need. And Yeah, I think we have successfully done our navbar section. Now it's time to have the hero section. So let's select a component which is like similar to our Figma design layout. So I think this layout is much more similar to our Figma design layout. And I think I have selected two, so just press Ctrl Z and it will remove one, and just change the image accordingly, which I have teach you how to change the image, and just select the image from here and you can see that it is easily displayed on our Webflow website. Now pass the heading for here and we can customize the font size by the sidebar, and here is all the customization available on the sidebar, and we can also increase the line height, font size and other stuff. And let's copy the paragraph, and the style of the heading is just removed just because we don't press control, we don't press the enter button. We have to press enter button after styling any element, so it will be saved, otherwise it will be removed default and it will be having the default style. And also replace the paragraph, and after that what we need, I think we have to customize the button according to our sign up button, because on our screen, on our Figma design, all the buttons are just similar to our sign up button, means while they having the same background color and border radius. So let's see, here is I'm looking for the paste option. I am no, I can't get any paste option. What I think that we just have to duplicate this sign up by pressing Ctrl and D and drag and drop the button here, and remove the start get started button, and we will be fixed out this sign up button to our button which we have required. So after that we will need an image which is below the main heading, which is the line image, and we can replace the image from here. So let's select this image and customize this image according to our heading, and yeah, it's look good. And what I think that we should have some gap between our all elements. So let's select the content which is the hero split and give some gap between these elements. I'm putting gap around 7 px between each element. And after that I think we need two buttons, so just Control and D this button to just duplicate this button. Before that we have to change the text for this button, which is the free trials, and just duplicate it. And what I think that we are not able to have the button side by side, so for fixing that we need a div is the container which allows us to change any layout uh, accordingly, and every item inside the div are able to uh, change their position according to the layout we want to have inside the container. So let's select flags, and after selecting the flags we are able to put some gap between this element, you can see that. And what I think, this button is not what we need. However, if I change the background color, it will change whole background color of other buttons which we have used on our Webflow website. So it is a very unnecessary thing which is happening. And for fixing out this, we have to remove this button. And beside this, we need a text, because one we have two two buttons. One is text and second is the button. And one we have and another will be a link. So let's customize this link accordingly to get the same result as we have on our Figma design. So if I see for any setting for customizing this link to make as similar to our Figma design, so we can change the font color, but we are unable to change the bottom line which is appearing and it is looking awkward. And I think it is the default style. If I press on this any button on our sidebar, the font is not changing their style. That means it is making consuming our time, and I don't want to consume time just styling our anchor tag. So what we can do, we can remove this whole link, because beside this what we can use a div which can contain an image uh, and a text also. So now it's time to put a text inside this div, which is our container. And yeah, after that we have to change this text to view demo. And after that what we need an image. So let's search for the image and drag and drop the image inside our container. And let's select the image. Before that, what I think, um, we have to press on this setting button, and now we can select the image. So now let's customize this button accordingly to have the play button in one side and the text in another side. So let's customize it accordingly and let's fix it out. But I don't think we can do that. So I am just selecting the container and giving it flex, and the flex direction will be the opposite. Meanwhile, it's coming from right to left. So now is you can see that it's looking good, and still something is missing out. And uh, the view demo tags will be should be in same line, but it is in different line. So let's fix it out and try to make it in one line, but it's still not working. However, I don't know why it is not working. So what we can do, we can see the solution which we can, by giving some width to our tags, we are able to set in one line. Now if we select the container div block 2 and give it it's still not working. But if we give the flags in from left to right, it's not working. Right to left, it's working. And the text should be in one line. So for fixing out this, let's see any setting we can get. Yeah, that's basically it. And you can see that now the play button and the text in same line which we have required, and we have successfully created our hero section. Now it's time to create the feature section, where lots of images, icons or logos of many company will be mentioned. So this will be the layout, and just copy the heading from here and paste the heading here. So we can create our this layout also, this component. And so let's change these images according to our company's logo. So for that we have to select each images and click on the setting button and after that we can now change the image accordingly. So the first image will be the Unsplash company logo, and after that the second image will be the Notion company image, and the third one will be the intercom, and we have the fourth image and it will be descript, I think so, descript company logo. And feel free to use any logo. If you want to change, then feel free to do that, but in my guess you can see all the images which I am arranging according to our Figma design. So the last one will be the Grammarly. Now what I need, I have to select the container to give some gap between these each images. So when I give some gap to our images, it is going out of our container. So for fixing out this, I am doing giving it a grid, and grid will fix it out all the stuff. So now you can see that we have 5 columns and 1 row, and it's looking good. And if we give some gap, then it's also working perfectly, and our are resizing according to our grid. So it's the beneficial for us because we have the exact layout as we have in our Figma design. Now it's time to have another component, which will be the this section. So let's select any component similar to this section. So for that, I think this one will be the Sam as it is, and now just copy the heading and copy and paste it here, and we just need to increase the font size of our heading. So we can increase the font size from here, and I think almost 31 is perfect. And I have missed off something because after selecting this image text, whenever we do style to our text by our sidebar, we have to tap enter. So it will save. Otherwise, it will be go to the uh, previous style. So for now, I'm just pasting the text which I have, and now let's select this text again. And what I think we need a heading here. So everything is in flex. So for fixing out this, I need a div, so where we can put all the elements which we want to uh, which layout which we want to customize. So now it's looking good, and if we paste the text here, then it looks just like our Figma design. So now we have to remove the other items because we have just customized this item, and we just have to press Ctrl D. It will duplicate the component for us, and it has an image, it has a heading and a paragraph. So now let's change the image for first item, and it will be the what it will be the public image publishing.png image. Now let's fix it out its height and width. So if we give some alignment to it, it's still looking blur. So for fixing out this, we will do some customization of its height and width. So let's select it and go to our width section, and if we increase it, other elements also increasing according to this. So the height will be also same as its width, so it will be not blur anymore. So I think the height will be smaller than its width, and it's looking good. And now just we have to change its background color to white, I think, because in our Figma design these images are having some background color. If we give it a padding, then our image is having some trouble. So I'm not putting any padding to our image, but if you want to, then you can feel free to do that. And now it's time to change the second image of the item. So the second image will be, I think so, the analytic image, analytics, and the third one will be, let's select it also, and the third one will be the engagement.png. So let's change the tags accordingly. Just Control A and Control C and Control V. Just do that accordingly, and we will get the exact tags which we have in our Figma design. So you can see that when we have smaller tags, the image sizing are making some issues, like its height is now uh, not good. So for that I am giving height to our image again around 50, and hopefully it will be reduced to 50. And yeah, it's almost done. We have almost done our layout, and now it's time to customize our heading again. So let's give it a font size of around 30, and it's looking good, and press enter. It will save our this customization. After that, just select this all the text and paste it, and give it a background font color to gray, and also this text will be bold. So we have given it a font color of gray, and now it's time to remove this learn more button because we don't require it. What we need a container. Before that we have to select this container to give some gap between our each element which we are using. So around 7-10 px gap is okay. And now it's time to select a div and paste the div below this text. So now it's looking good, and we have to have an image inside our this div. So now this image will be the star image. So let's select it. It's the review, and yeah, after that we have to copy this text which is the rating, and for that we have to have another element which is the text element. You can drag and drop the text element from here and paste it below these stars. So paste it here, and the 4.9 will be bold. And after that we just have to clone this one, duplicate this one, and give the which is the text of the rating giver. So paste it here, and the text should be gray, I think. So let's change its color to gray, and now we have to select this review section container which is the div block, and we also have to give it a display flex. The flex will be in the column, and gap between these elements will be around 6. And just copy this div element and paste it again. And now we have two things, but each thing is our top to bottom, are displaying in top to bottom, but we need another container which will contain these both reviews, and it should be in the same container, so we can style the container accordingly, and we can give some gap between these two reviews, and we can show these reviews side by side. So for that we need another container, and select this container and drag and drop this container inside this div. And after that, what we need, uh, we can drag and drop this inside our this container. But I think it's making some trouble and it can make issue. For that I am just selecting this container, which is a div container, div block 3, and just duplicate this. And now we don't need the last div, which is actually in outside our div, so I have deleted. And now we have to select the div and give it a flex, and the gap between these two feedbacks will be 17 px, around 33 px. It's look good. And now everything is just similar to our Figma design. And now we can move towards our next section. So let's go and create have a component from here. So now let's select a component for this section also. I think this section will be better for the section we are looking for to our Figma design. So if we have it in row, now it's time to put it in a row. And I think everything is looking good, but the text is taking lots of width. So let's fix it out by declaring some width to our text, our paragraph. So if we customize the height width of our paragraph, it's customizing whole com component. So I am making this component grid and grid display, and it will have 3 columns. Now it's looking good, I think, and it should be not stretch, it should be on right side. And I think it's looking similar, and we will do customize in later. So now paste the text as we have on our Figma design. However, we are focusing on having the actual layout, but for now I'm also pasting tags. However, it's not required and it's not mandatory to paste the exact same tags, but for now it's good practice to paste the tags which we have in our Figma design, because in future we have to do that. And now we have to change the background color of our this button. So I have copied the code for the background color and just paste it here. And now we have to give some border radius around 10. I think it's looking good, and yeah, it's looking good. And now we need another section below the stuff. Before that, let's try to align our paragraph. If we select this container and try to fix it out the paragraph in center, it's not centralizing the paragraph, but instead of it centralizing the button. So for now I think it's looking good, but feel free to do more customization to get the exact result as we have in our Figma design. So I think it's looking good, and paragraph is still not looking good. If we remove the margin, then you can see the paragraph is now little more uh, centralized, but for now just it's good. And now we have to work. Before that we have to remove the padding. I think it's looking good and we don't have to do that again. And now it's time to have a grid below this container. So the grid below this container will be containing some cards. So if I put the grid here, it's making our layout awkward. So it's best practice to create any container out of our container which we have. So if I put that, it's taking full width. So now I am having a component, default component, which is created by Webflow, and I am selecting this layout, and I will remove all the stuff which is unnecessary for this component. So for now, but I think we need a grid, and this grid will contain all of the card, and I'm removing the text which is unnecessary for now, and I'm customizing the layout of our cart, because from these cart I will take one cart as our cart layout. So remove the unnecessary things from here, and after that just copy this whole cart, and control D to clone it, or just get the cart and select the container and make the row 1 and the column will be 3. So it's looking good, and now we just have to press the card and just press Ctrl and D. It will duplicate the cards and remove all of the card which is unnecessary. Now we can see that we are now able to change the background images. So the first image of our card will be this image, and after that the second image will be I think it's the second image of our card, and the third one will be the different one. So let's click on OK to remove the notifications, and press on choose image and select this image. Now it's looking good and everything is in alignment, and what I think that we have to have some border radius to our images. So if I put some border radius to our images, it doesn't show any output. So I think we don't have to do that. And however, you can see that the radius we have increased, but nothing are implementing, I think. But feel free to do customization by yourself, and I am now changing the text accordingly to our Figma design and paste a paragraph here. And it is not necessary to change a whole code text, because we are focusing on creating a Webflow website, and we are just trying to get the exact same layout as we have in our Figma design. So this tutorial for those who just want to let's get started building Webflow website by their own. So you can create your own Webflow website from now. So now we have completed our card section. Now we need another component. For that I'm choosing our default container component which we have, and which is created by Webflow website for us for our simplification. Now change the image accordingly, and now the different image will be this image, and now we have this heading, and just pass the heading here, and I think between the you should be in different line. Now it's looking good, and it's time to remove another paragraph and other stuff which is unnecessary. And now we need a div. A div will contain one image and a text, and it will just look similar to our this Figma design. So now we need a text, so just copy this text and select a text element from here. Before that we need an image and paste the image here, and after that we need a text. So replace this text with the text we have. Before that, make it flex. This container will be flex, so our text and our image will be in same line, and it will be centralized and it's looking good, and give some gap between our image and our text. And now let's select the image. Before that we have to save this tick image and just export this image from our Figma design. Export it and give it a name. Before that we have to paste this text name which is tick, and yeah, I want to replace it with this. Let's save it. Now we can import the image here. Let's import and click on the tick, and let's select the tick. Click on the setting button, replace the image. Now select this image, and you can see that our layout is now looking awesome. And just duplicate this div. Before that we have to make the font bold, and just control D, and it will duplicate all the text we have. And after that, what we need, we just have to select the container and give some gap between our elements because they are just collapsing with each other. Now change the text accordingly, as we have different text for different line. So paste it here. Online banking, investment report every month, and saving money for the future. And the last one will be the online transaction. So let's copy it and select it and paste it here. So now everything is okay, and everything is we have cloned, and we have the exact layout in our Figma design. Now let's move towards the next section, which is the planning and the plane section. So let's create this component. Before that, I think we have all the component created by our website. So just copy this and paste it here, and just replace this text with the text which we have on our Figma design, and press enter after plan, and it's just looking the same. And just copy this paragraph and paste it here. Select it and make it bold, and after that we need a container which will contain two buttons. One will have some different color, and the color of our theme, and the second one will be having no background color. For example, it will be having a background of white. So paste this drag and drop this button inside this um, div, and after that we need a text, because for second thing we will need a text, and will which are in same line. So make it flex. This container will be flex, and align item will be centralized. So let's put some gap between these two buttons. And after that, what we have to copy this text and replace it with this text. And for another button, we have to copy this bill yearly. So I think I have copied the space. Let's copy it again. Select Control A and paste it here. And now we have to give some gap between our these two buttons. And after that we need some padding between in our div. So it just look like our container which we have on our Figma design. So basically we are just making our layout similar to our Figma design. So from everywhere it will be 18 px of padding, and it will having a background color of white, I think, white, and it looks good. And now the border radius will be around to 7 8 and it looks good. And now change the background color of our this button, which will be having the background color of our theme. So let's select the button and get the code of our background color from here and paste it here, and give some border radius to our button. Yeah, as we have the similar layout as we have required and as we have in our Figma design. Now it's time to what we need now. I think we need the planning cards. So pricing card will be needed. So for that I'm selecting this first pricing comparison cards. So it will be, we will customize it accordingly to our Figma design. So let's customize it and make it similar to our Figma design. And yeah, so now let's customize this pricing cards accordingly to our Figma design. So let's see, we can change the image of our ticks. However, the height of the images are not looking so good. So what I think, it is best practice to not change the image, because if we change the image then you can see that the half of image is not displaying on our screen. So feel free to use the default one, and we will change the stuff which is changeable. However, everything is changeable, but I don't want to take a lots of time to do that, because if I do that it will consume lots of time, and it is best practice to do this stuff which is left it by yourself to improve your own skill. So just change the text accordingly to our Figma design. So let's centralize this paragraph, and here we can centralize it. And after that we also have to copy this, experiment the power. So paste it here and it's looking good. And now let's copy this and paste it below the business tax. Yeah, and let's change images accordingly. I think we don't need any image, so I'm removing all the images. And now we are we have to change the pricing for each card. So for monthly it will be something like $0 per month. So just change the pricing amount, and for pro it will be around $8 per month, and the for businesses it will be around $16 per month. And I think it's looking good. And now we don't need the text below the pricing. Remove that lorem tax, and after that we just have to style these button according to our the but the button we have in our Figma design. So change the text first, and after that we will be changing the style accordingly, and paste the text here, which is go to pro, and the last one will be go to business. So now it's time to change the styling for each button. So the background should be the theme color, which is we can be get from here. Just copy this code and paste it here. I think the background color is not looking good. The border color is not looking good. We will fix it out in few minutes. For now, we have to change the typography color to the theme color, which is the this, and just paste the color for border. Also for this pro button, we have to change the border color to the theme color, and also the background color will be the theme color. So where is the background color option? Here is it. Just pass the code and we will get the same as we want. And now we have the last button, and when we hovering the button, the color is changing, so we have to make the theme color default on hover also. So I have done it by doing this. And what I'm seeing, there is a black back border still. So for removing that, I just have to click this hide, and now you can see that our border is just looks like our theme color, and everything is looking good, and just we need to put the button below these tags. So for doing that, if I put the button below these tags, it is going out of the layout. If I drop that, then you can see that button is now in the bottom. It's not looking same as it is if we have in our Figma design. So for achieving the same design as we have in our Figma design, we have to have the button below these list. So for doing that, I think we have to put the button inside the list. So if I put it here, it is not working. So what I think, we have to put it here, and we just have to remove the tags. So if we click on the container, if we centralize everything to centralize our button, then button is centralizing, but the text is also doing that stuff. It's centralizing, it's looking awkward. So for that, I try to make only the button centralized, but it is not working. So for fixing out this, what we can do, if I put some margin on left side or right side, I don't think anything is working. So I have an idea that if we remove the tags and want to and make the stuff centralized, it should work. So let's remove the tags first. Before that, we have to copy this again, and for not losing the tags, and now remove this one. And if we see, and if we want to centralize this button according to this item list, and is there any option? Yeah, we have, and you can see that our button is now centralized and it's looking good. So feel free to customize by yourself. I am doing the maximum stuff which can be achievable, and in the few minutes later we will be doing other stuff, and after that we will be try to fix it out the next step to according to the new step. So let's customize it further to make it similar to our Figma design layout. And we also have to put the go to pro button below each text, and we know that now if we remove these tags and make the stuff centralized, then it will be centralized and it's looking good. And we don't need lots of tags, so I'm removing some of these to get the maximum similarity as we have in our Figma design. So the last button will be the go to business button, and also we have to centralize this button, and it is now centralized. And I think it's not just exactly same, but we can say that it's similar to our Figma design. And you can make it similar by removing extra stuff like this, and also removing the space on top, which is the padding on top. So let's go to the top, and you can see that 80 padding is on top, and I'm removing the all of the padding. Now in the top the padding is 0, and I think for me it's okay and it's enough for me. And if you want to change the text, you are free to do that. In my case, I just want to teach you that how you can customize components in Webflow and how to get the maximum uh, output, maximum similarities as you have a Figma design. So yeah, that's basically it. And for now we are removing the background color of this component and giving it a background color of black, and we have we our all text inside this container will be having a white color, so we have already do that. And now we have to just copy the heading and paste it here. And also for the paragraphs, so let's change the paragraph, and we had the same paragraph as we have in our Figma design. And now we have to copy this and paste it in below paragraph. So select R and enter, and just copy the last text, which is the aria xenotio xenorio. And we need an image, I think. And before that we have to remove the start get started button because it is unnecessary for us. Now we need an image, I think, and just copy and drag and drop here because we need inverted commas here, and we have the asset file in our directory. So from here you can select this image, which is in our Figma design also. And after that we have to select the container, and we need a div now, because in the last section we need a lots of reviews images. So for that I'm pasting this image one and just control D to duplicate all the images around 5, and selecting the container to put some gap between our these images. For that we have to make it flex, and gap between these images will be around 12 px, and yeah, it will be centralized. And now change the image accordingly as we have reviews images. So first one will be this, second one will be this one, and the third one will be this image. person 2, and the last image will be second last image will be this person image, and the last image will be the play button, play image, which will be the white image. I think this one, not this one. Yeah, that's basically it, and we have exactly cloned the left side of our component. Now it's time to create the right section where we have the form. So for that, let's see how we can customize our this container to the container we have in our Figma design. So let's try out and see what is the possibilities to get the same result as we have a Figma design. So hopefully I have to teach you a lot of stuff and you have understand a lot of stuff, and if you stuck with anything, feel free to do comment in the comment section, and I feel free to answer all of this stuff. And from now I think uh, it's enough for me, and if you have any question you can ask me in the comment section and I will be answering it. And for now, from this point I am just stopping voiceover because now it's the practical stuff and you have to do practically with me, and you have listened to me a lot. So let's start building the stuff without talking to each other. Let's go.